do want to assess this question. Many have asked, why is FC Barcelona signing so many players? Like, why all of a sudden is Barcelona going all out for 3 attackers, 1 midfielder, 1 center back, 2 potential fullbacks? Like, what is going on? So this is going to be a clarification video that I hope you guys do find a lot of value in. I hope you guys do enjoy this one. And so let's do this, right? Because the first thing that I do want to say is this. I can see Flick and Deco trying to build this team around Lamine Yamal. And I'm going to be explaining why, because the club's vision is to build the best possible environment around Yamal so his talent can be maximized without him carrying the entire project alone. Our objective as a club is to not have dependency on Lamine Yamal. We want to create better squad depth, higher technical qualities, a team with great physical intensity, and for it to have long-term stability. Because, for example, I'm just speaking hypothetically. I don't think this will happen, but hypothetically, what if Lamine Yamal does leave in 2 seasons to go to City or Bayern or PSG or Real Madrid or wherever? Barcelona still have to be okay if Yamal leaves. And that is the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is build a great world-class team around Yamal, but if Yamal were to leave, which is the complete other side of that, Barcelona will still be okay because the club comes before anybody else. And this is important because we have to learn from the Messi era. The supporters, the people who work within FC Barcelona do not want to see Barcelona suffer in the exact same way we saw them suffer when Messi did leave. And I remember in the last 5 years of Messi at Barcelona, it was all about over-reliance on one superstar, and that was Messi. There was a lack of elite squad depth in key positions back in 2017, 18, and 19, and 2020. Just look at the 2019 Barcelona team, for example. You had a great starting 11, yes, with Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba, Gerard Piqué, but behind those players, it was not so great. So there was a lot of poor succession planning. There was financial instability, just spending for the sake of spending. And that is the reason why Barcelona went through matches where they collapsed against Inter Milan. Liverpool did come back. Roma did eliminate FC Barcelona from the Champions League. Chelsea did beat FC Barcelona many times. Barcelona could not also beat Real Madrid for multiple seasons in a row, 2 to 3 years ago. And so the lesson here is build the structure first so one player never has to carry everything. So whether Yamal leaves or Yamal gets injured in the next season, Barcelona will be okay. And best case scenario is if Yamal is at his prime and at his best and fully available and fully committed to FC Barcelona, he is in the correct environment. An environment that would allow him to get 45 to 55 goal contributions per season. That is what we do want to see. Now, what type of team is surrounding Lamine Yamal as of today? Like, what is being built in Barcelona? Because to me, Hansi Flick's football philosophy is all about the intensity. The intensity really does matter. What Flick and Deco want is players who have the ability to press very well, to run a lot, to play with a lot of intensity, with aggression, with passion. Some have been very worried about this because many have said that, oh, Barcelona's just focused on bringing in pressers or like NFL football players, but not technical players on the ball. When I don't think that's the case. I think that Barcelona already have that. We have a lot of great technical players. We just need to up our current technical players in terms of their physicality and bring even more physical players into this team. Hence the reason why Julián is being added. Gordon is being added as well. Same thing can be said with Bernardo Silva. And in modern football, you need both. You need great technical players and at the same time be physically capable. The game is more physical than ever before. It's part of the reason why successful teams today like PSG are winning, Bayern Munich are winning, Arsenal are winning. They are physically very capable and they can do that in every game. They can press, be aggressive, they can run into open spaces, they can run and track back, they can do many things. You need those type of qualities and Barcelona have to get into those positions. The common traits that I do see, by the way, between Arsenal, Bayern, and PSG is their collective pressing, the high physical output, their defensive work from attackers, the fast transitions, and the technical players who still also have to run. And this is what FC Barcelona want now. And if Barcelona can do this, you would also get the best out of Lamine Yamal. Just look at how Argentina won the World Cup in 2022. Messi benefited off of the Argentinian team in the World Cup only because those players were athletic monsters, players who never put their arms down. This is what's going to be needed, and especially in those Champions League nights moments. Another question I do want to assess is the backup situation, because there has been a lot of pushback on Anthony Gordon joining the squad because many have said, why is Barcelona spending 70 to 75 million euros on Anthony Gordon when he's going to be a backup to Rafinha? Because obviously Rafinha is better. He has had more time at FC Barcelona, and I understand where many might get that idea from because it has always been like that. If you have a good player and is better than its backup, then that player is going to be playing way more. However, in modern football, when you do have multiple starters who are good enough to bring you good results, heavy rotation is going to be applied. side. And it's not by choice, but we have to. Like, bro, we literally have to have heavy rotation in this Barcelona team, just like with everybody else, because clubs now have to play league matches, Champions League matches, domestic cups, international tournaments. The schedules are expanding, and there are so many games in one season that even if Gordon and Rafinha share 50-50 in minutes and in games, they're both going to end up playing more than 2,000 minutes in one season, and that is considered as a regular season for a regular player that starts. That is just how many games there is. Yes, Rafinha remains as the preferred starter in the biggest games, but his injury history exists, the heavy workload exists, and rotation is necessary. The same thing can be said with Yamal on the right side and the fact that Silva is going to be coming in. There will be enough minutes and games for everybody. Same thing with Julian and Ferran Torres, same thing with Alejandro Balde and Joao Cancelo, or Koundé and Eric Garcia, or Frankie and Bernal, or Pedri or Gavi. They're all going to be either starting or coming off the bench, but in the end, when the season is over, they're all going to have a healthy and good amount of minutes. This is just where modern football is today. It is playing more than 75 to 80 games per season. Now, lastly, I want to address the most important question, right? It's going to be the financial side. Why is Barcelona spending so much now? And like, why are we bringing so many players? Like, how does this even make sense? No other club is acting like this. It's not Liverpool, it's not City, it's not Arsenal, it's not Real Madrid, it's not Bayern, only FC Barcelona. And they're trying to lock down all of these deals before the World Cup. So like, why now? So first of all, Lewandowski has left. He has reduced the wage bill by 25 to 30 million euros. You have Marcus Rashford, who could also free up a lot of wages because he will be leaving. I don't see Marcus Rashford continuing at FC Barcelona because of where I see Barcelona going in the attack. The salary margin is getting wider and wider. You also add in the fact that Ansu Fati will be leaving, who also has a wage bill of 13 to 15 million euros a season. All of this explains the reason why Julian is being considered, why Anthony Gordon has been brought in, why they're looking at Silva, why they're looking at Guardiola, and Barcelona have returned to the 1-1 rule. They have been informed by La Liga that Barcelona can operate normally, and this creates conditions very similar to how Barcelona functioned in the summer of 2022, except we're not selling our assets. If anything, we have showed why we have generated so much revenue. Barcelona at that time did sign Lewandowski, Koundé, Christensen, Kessié, Rafinha, many players, a total of 5. Barcelona is going to do the exact same thing today, and for a very big and final reason, because in the summer of 2027, Barcelona are not planning on signing any players. So they're treating the summer of 2026 as 2 summer windows, because there is a Camp Nou problem. Not like a real problem, but it's the fact that the stadium that we are playing in right now is going to be re-innovated. And so yes, Barcelona are going to go away from the Spotify Camp Nou once more. And the plan situation is this: there's going to be a roof installation that begins in the summer of 2027. So we're going back to the Estadio Olympic. It's a temporary move that could last for several months. And the reason why that matters financially is because it's going to reduce our match day revenue. It's going to reduce our hospitality income as well, our commercial revenue, our stadium income. And this creates, I would just say, a little fear, a little nervousness, because Barcelona could again fall outside of the 1-1 rule in 2027. And now Barcelona are going to have a very hard time signing the players that they do want, which is the reason why they look at the summer of 2026. They look at how they're in a very precious, beautiful position, which is being in the 1-1 rule. And they're saying, okay, we have to take advantage of this moment and sign as many players as we can, because I don't think that we're going to have it like this in the next year. So they're making signings for 2 summers right now. They're building their core, they're upgrading multiple positions, and expect for Barcelona to sign 3 more players after Gordon and Julián Alvarez. And going back to what I said in the beginning of this video, to make sure as well to build a competitive, young, intense elite squad that strengthens Lamine Yamal. But that is it, right? That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.